Hello, and welcome to Using ChatGPT to Write Academic Papers, Part 3, Final Critique. We are Kayla Charbonneau and Stephanie Kuntz, and today we'll be discussing a case study whereby AI was used to generate a research article, the issues we identified with the generated paper, and the ethical dilemma of using generative AI for academic writing.
The topic of this paper is racial disparities in medical admissions. To generate our paper, we asked ChatGPT to write a 2,000-word paper on the topic of racial disparity in medical admissions, with a clear introduction of the issue, a discussion session evaluating key arguments, a section on future directions, and a conclusion summarizing the findings and implications. We asked ChatGPT to reference all sources and to ensure that the writing follows a formal academic tone and adheres to APA 7 citation style.
Throughout the peer review process, many issues were identified across the board, including topics of relevance, factual errors and misrepresentation, the quality of writing, and the formatting. Altogether, the AI-generated article is generally on target and offers a well-rounded view of the topic. Unfortunately, the article misses out on an international perspective, focusing only on American medical schools and disparities that exist therein. Ideally, the paper would have been targeted to Canadian schools. Disparities in admissions manifest differently in Canada than in the United States, influenced by distinct historical, cultural, and political contexts. Alternatively, we would also have accepted a broader international perspective, perhaps discussing disparities between countries and the minorities that exist around the world. Furthermore, the paper is very surface level. While discussing affirmative action, the paper references two legal cases, Fisher v. University of Texas and Students for Fair Admissions v. Harvard. But the paper fails to go into depth about either of these cases, instead opting to skim past this important topic.
One major issue with this paper is the use of unsupported claims. Many statements are presented as fact, but lacked sufficient evidence to back them up. An example of this is that minority physicians are more likely to serve underserved communities and provide culturally competent care. While this may be true, there is no citation following this claim, and no specific data, analysis, or sources cited. Additionally, when citations are used in the paper, they often support very broad claims without referencing any specific detail or, again, statistics. Additionally, many of the references that are included are out of date. There was no reference in this paper that was more recent than 2022, and one of the references was even from 2002. The issue is further exacerbated by the overall lack of sources used. Only 6 references are cited throughout the entire 2,000-word paper. At least 10 to 20 sources would be expected for a paper of this length. Another major concern with this paper is the presence of what appear to be fabricated or misattributed sources. We'll refer to these as citation hallucinations. Several references listed in this paper either do not match the content that is sourced or simply do not exist. For example, the DOI for the article cited by Ward leads to a completely different article titled Social Media in Undergraduate Medical Education. The second citation from 2014, the DOI links to a paper on innovation in diabetes care models, which is obviously unrelated to our topic. Even more concerning, the U.S. Census Bureau references doesn't exist. There are no documents from the U.S. Census Bureau published on income and poverty from 2022. This is fabricated.
Overall, the article is well written. It uses a formal academic tone, which is appropriate for a master's level paper and the target audience for a paper about unfair admissions to medical school. One area of improvement that exists for the article is the use of run-on sentences. The quote on the screen comes directly from the article. It reads, "The disparities in K-12 education are further exacerbated by unequal access to extracurricular and enrichment opportunities, as participation in activities such as science fairs, pre-medical clubs, and summer enrichment programs often correlates with higher academic achievement and increased interest in healthcare careers, yet URM students are less likely to have access to these opportunities due to systemic inequities in school funding and community resources." This sentence could have been divided into 2 or 3 sentences to enhance readability. Finally, the article is liberal with its use of subheadings. Fewer, more strategic headings would enhance the flow and improve readability.
This paper lacked accessibility formatting, specifically with regards to the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, or AODA. Headings throughout the document are not properly tagged, which is a basic requirement for making content accessible, especially for users who may rely on screen readers or assistive technologies. The paper also demonstrates several APA 7 formatting issues. Headings are not properly formatted by level. All headers are left justified and use the same style rather than following APA guidelines for hierarchy. Subheadings are not italicized. When it comes to general formatting, there are several key elements missing. There's no title page, a writing title is missing from the header, page numbers are not included, paragraphs are not properly indented. There are also multiple issues in the references section. References are not formatted with hanging indent, and the phrase retrieved from is incorrectly used in some citations, even when it's no longer required by APA 7. After reviewing this paper, I asked myself would I feel confident naming ChatGPT as a co-author on the final paper. Ultimately, no, I wouldn't. Authorship carries significant academic, social, and even financial implications. Let's talk about it. According to the International Committee of Medical Journal Editors, authorship should be based on 4 essential criteria: substantial contributions to the conception or design of the work, drafting the work or revising it critically for important intellectual content, final approval of the version to be published, and agreement to be accountable for all aspects of the work, ensuring questions related to accuracy or integrity are appropriately addressed. To be listed as an author, an individual must meet all 4 criteria. While some scholars debate whether ChatGPT meets any of these academic authorship criteria, the most glaring omission is accountability. AI tools like ChatGPT can't assume responsibility for accuracy, integrity, or ethical standards of their work. As Dune, from a publication in 2023, points out, accountability is a core requirement of authorship that only human authors can fulfill. Another important consideration is copyright protection. AI tools like ChatGPT can't consent to publication terms or retain rights over the content they generate. As Stokel Walker from a 2023 publication explains, AI lacks the legal personhood required to hold or transfer copyright. In fact, according to OpenAI's own terms of service, any rights to the content created by ChatGPT are automatically assigned to the user. That means the human user, not the AI, is considered the legal author and rights holder of the material. This further reinforces that while AI can assist in content creation, it can't be granted authorship or ownership under current property law. Beyond meeting formal authorship criteria, academic writing demands original intellectual work. As Dune again in his paper from 2023 points out, AI-generated content is composed of borrowed ideas. It's drawn from patterns and data found across the internet. This is fundamentally different from creating original intellectual content, which requires interpretation, context, and the generation of insights. While ChatGPT can assist in organizing thoughts and refining language, it can't replace the depth of human reasoning that academic work requires. Originality is a distinctly human responsibility. Taking all this into account, this is why I believe ChatGPT does not meet the academic, legal, or ethical standards required for authorship in scholarly publishing. While it might be a valuable tool, authorship remains human regards to accountability, creativity, and ethical judgment. This is beyond the scope of what AI can offer. Thank you.
The following recommendations for educational leaders and the use of AI for academic writing comes from Khalifa and Al-Badawi's 2024 article titled Using Artificial Intelligence in Academic Writing and Research, an Essential Productivity Tool. The authors discuss the use of AI as a revolutionary tool for managing complex ideas and extensive information, but they're also realistic about the dangers of relying on AI. They suggest broader integration of AI tools in research workflows, emphasizing ethical and transparent use, providing adequate training for researchers, and maintaining a balance between AI utility and human insight. Specifically, the authors identified 6 domains in which academic writers need to be aware of their use of AI. These domains include idea development and research design, content development and structuring, literature review and synthesis, data management and analysis, editing, review, and publishing support, and communication outreach and ethical compliance. This article serves as a useful tool for academic writers to refer back to. Finally, the University of Saskatchewan urges researchers to be accountable, accurate, and transparent in their use of AI for academic writing. Quote, researchers must ensure the integrity of their work, be aware of AI biases and inaccuracies, and protect confidential information. We want to thank you for your attention in today's presentation, and please refer to our references for more information.